a, a mixing pot. So my name is Brooke. I'm also known as BB. Just depends on where you met me. I'm a singer at heart. Definitely a singer. I do dancing. I am a yoga teacher. I'm just starting a yoga business, and then I paint. So I do a little bit of everything. I think that I kind of go through phases, with
Mm-hmm.
things. And right now I'm in my yoga phase, and yeah.
Do you have a favorite medium all around, or does it just depend on where you are in life?
Honestly, it changes. Like 2 months ago, it was all about the music.
Mm-hmm.
Like last week, it was dance all week. Like it really just it depends on what I'm going through in life, like my mental state, how connected to myself I am.
Mm-hmm.
Like when I'm feeling pain is when I go to the singing. When I feel like I need to like free my soul and free my body is when I dance and I feel sensual. When I feel absolutely unhinged, I go to yoga. So it just depends.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So how did you start your creative journey, and when did you start?
Right out of the womb is what my mama says. So I just remember being like a kid and all the videos. I'm like dancing around the house and singing and writing songs at a young age, like very soulful songs too. And I think when I was in fifth grade, I was singing one time in the shower, and I was like, "Damn, I can actually sing." You have
Yeah.
that. Yeah. Yeah. So that was cool. My family being told to shut up because, you
Aw.
sing so loud. Yeah. And then your voice gets quieted after that. I don't
Mm.
blame them either, except I'll be belting it out. But
Yeah.
it took until I was like 19 to go back into myself and write the music and like really start to work with my voice and find my edge and learn how to navigate how I sing. So
Yeah.
yeah, so I
Okay.
think that it's been instilled in me in a young age. I fell apart from it in my adolescence, and then I came back in like my early 20s.
Okay. And what drove you to come back to it?
mm, uh, I don't really know the answer to that question. I think it was an ever evolving and ever unfolding thing.
Mm.
Because I would go through it in phases. When I was 19, I was living on a couch in California. I was newly sober. I overcame addiction when I was in my adolescence. So I was newly sober, just found yoga and like meditating, and I just became conscious
Yeah.
and became awakened for the first time. So I dove into my musical aspects a little bit there, and then I fell apart from it again when I was going through an experience. I was in a 5 year like abusive relationship, and that broke me down
Yeah.
to tiny little pieces.
Yeah.
And after that experience, that's when I came back to the music, and I had so much pain I was carrying, and I was just completely jaded.
Yeah.
Like I wasn't, you look in the mirror and you're gone.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it
Yeah, I've
was.
been there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it was like that. Like my eyes were dark, and so then I would just sing and I would feel again. And it was like the only time I'm getting emotional talking about it. It was the only time I could feel again,
Yeah.
because I numbed myself. And then I started writing the music, getting connected with people. And I went on like a 3 year journey of writing songs and creating music. And I poured everything into it. And yeah, it healed me.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's healing
it
for
really
sure.
did.
And that's honestly why I started making music myself.
Yeah.
It's just like you have all these big feelings that you don't know what to do with at some point. When you've gone through like a lot of trauma and you don't really feel like you don't feel like there's anybody to confide in and all of that. It's good to
because you're alienated by your
exactly
trauma.
exactly yes. And so I feel like that's how a lot of creatives start creating is because it gives them something to put all of that into.
And then once you release that pain, then it's like, oh, like now I've put all of these years of this into songs. It's out of me now, and now I've been able to like pick up those pieces and rebuild myself. And now when I look in the mirror, I'm like, there you are.
Yes.
Yeah, like my whole music journey was to find out who I truly am.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, me too. I think my first song ever was actually called Who I Am.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then it's like every time you do that and then you listen to it, oh dang, like it makes you realize something. Or even in a negative sense, like I would write a song about like love or whatever, and then all of a sudden I'm like, oh my, I'm the problem in this situation. Like I'm writing a song about this dude, but it's me. Like I'm
That's your
doing the same
perception.
thing. Yeah. And a lot of it would be like, let's say like I'm broken by someone. I would write a song about it. And then I'll listen to the song after I healed and have a better perspective.
Yes.
And then I rewrote the song. So I'm like, he wasn't even the problem. I was just unhealed, you know?
Yeah.
And it's nice because it really is like therapy.
It is.
And you're teaching yourself things about yourself and how to heal and just to get over shit.
Yeah.
Like, why do we hold on to so much? You know,
right.
We don't need to.
Ego, I think, makes us hold on to a lot more than we need to.
Mm-hmm.
And I think ego and also a lack of understanding. Because when you understand something, it's easier to start letting it go.
Mm-hmm. But a lot of times when you've experienced trauma, you don't get that closure to let it go, you know?
Right.
So it takes longer. I think ego is a huge part of it because we create stories about ourselves like, oh, like I'm unlovable, like I'm an outcast. And then because you're telling yourself that, your reality turns into that.
Reflects it.
Yeah, because what we think becomes our reality.
Yes.
And then it's like even more intense, you know, and it's nice because once you let it go, you can see clearly and it's like the veil is released. With like the experiencing traumatic experiences, though, I do think that our body holds on to it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, like we don't experience it over and over because it's stuck in our mind. It's because it's actually has alternated like the cells in our body.
Yes.
And the way our brain chemistry is, you know? So that takes longer. It takes consistent practice to rebalance your brain chemistry. To release it properly. Yeah.
And I feel like yoga is something that is helpful with that.
Oh,
is that
yeah.
a reason, like one of the reasons that you do it?
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
To me, it's like a dance too. Like, but it's really because I understand how my brain works now that I'm 30. I've experienced like mental illness throughout my whole life, but it was really because I had no tools in my toolbox.
Exactly.
Yeah, and you have to emotionally regulate.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you can't handle life. You know? Am I allowed to swear on here?
Yeah.
Okay.
Say whatever you want.
Might drop a few F-bombs.
Go for it.
But yeah, yoga definitely helps me. Like since I've been back on my yoga journey, I feel super mentally stable and I feel happy. Yeah.
That's good.
Have you done it before?
I have. I started and then I just stopped and I shouldn't have. But it's crazy because last year I bought my little yoga mat and all of that. I have a friend who was a yoga instructor and I went to like one of her classes. Then after that, I got into an accident and my whole like my thumb up to, I guess, my elbow I could not put pressure on it.
Yeah.
It was horrible.
It's
better now. Occasionally it'll ache, but it's a lot better now. So that is definitely something I'd like to get back into. Okay. And soon.
Yeah, I'm doing an online yoga course.
Okay.
So that's what I kind of stopped the music so I can build this business. So it's called 100% Mind, Body, Soul, and it's like an introduction to yoga course, and then like vinyasa, hatha, any style of yoga, like meditation, breath work. It's to do at your home, you know, or wherever. And then I'm opening a studio in the 3rd Ward too.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so you should come in for a class.
I will.
Oh, I'm doing a free class next week, Saturday, actually.
Are you?
Yeah, at noon.
Okay.
Free.
I will. Yeah, I have to see my calendar, but if I'm free, I'll definitely come.
Yeah, for sure.
Is that your first class?
That'll be, well, I taught for like 10 years, but it'll be my first class in this new state of being.
I see.
Yeah.
I love that for you.
Thank you.
So how do you feel about where you are in life right now?
Oh my gosh.
Did I ask a loaded question?
Oh my Lord. That is a very loaded question. Like right now, like I'm in Struggleville, and it's been like that for a long time. Like I'm building things and I'm positive about my future and I'm grateful for everything I've accomplished, but I'm still like, how the hell am I still here?
Yeah.
How am I still struggling? Why haven't I figured it out? You know? And I understand that every single moment has, it leads you to where you're supposed to be, and things take time and they align when they're supposed to.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just want peace in my life, and I want stability. So that is a loaded question.
And you're 30 now.
I'm 30.
So that's the one
up.
thing we want at this point. I'm 31 now.
Yeah.
So like I feel like at that point all you want is stability and peace.
Yeah.
So
it really is.
Yeah.
Before I wanted to be a rock star, or like travel the world and do all this stuff, and now I really just want my peaceful home. I want to feel at peace, financial stability, and I want my husband.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's another thing. I don't know what it is with like grown people like out here these days wanting to play games, and nobody wants like a real relationship or to settle down. I can't say nobody, but I feel like as a generation, I don't know what happened.
No, we're fucked.
We really are. It's hard to find real love.
It really is, and it sucks because I know you are too. Like, we're lover girls at heart, and it's like, I have made my mistakes in the past. I have not been a perfect lover when I was younger, but I've always been loyal and I've always been real.
Yeah.
And it's like now, like I've been celibate for over a year, because I'm not giving my body and my... No, it's not
worth it.
I'm going to give you my energy and access to the divinity within me for you to lie to me and twist my brain.
Yes.
No.
Yeah.
I'd rather just keep it to myself and use it to make art.
Exactly.
Yeah. So I do have faith, and I know that there are good people out there. And I do think that there is someone out there for me. But like, where the hell are you?
Yeah. Part of me is like, do I have to like travel the world? Are they not here? Maybe they're not in Milwaukee, because I doubt it. Definitely not in Milwaukee.
Honestly, though, like, I don't know how other cities are, but like everything that I've seen, it's just all games, all playing.
Yes. At this big age.
Yeah, like we're adults. Like, you really want to share your DNA with that many people?
Yeah, it's gross.
It is gross. Like, do what you got to do, but that will come back to you one day. I don't know.
Yeah, for sure.
And if you do, like, who gives a shit? Like, go do what you want. But why would you take someone's heart and soul and lie to them about it?
Yeah.
Just to get what you want, when there's probably 100 other people out here who will just give it to you.
Exactly.
Without any strings attached.
Right.
So why do you take a good woman and,
Because of the fact that they know that it's hard. It's a game, basically. Yeah. So people like us who are fine with holding out when it comes to like sex, because of the fact that we want something real. Some people will see how selective you are and purposely do and say things to manipulate you into getting what they want, and then will gaslight you afterward. Like, I don't know what you thought this was. It was never that, and blah blah blah. Like, bro, yeah,
it is like that.
I've been there,
and I had 2 experiences like that in the last like 5 years.
Yeah.
And after those 2, I was just like, I'm just gonna be done.
Yeah.
It's not worth it opening the holy gates, to these devil
boys.
To peasants, yeah. But that's been a whole journey in itself, and it is difficult. Like, I have a song called Like Water, which is out on all major platforms. B.B Music Co. BB Music Collective is my music name on all platforms. But the song Like Water, I did an interview, and this man was like, "Is this a pure song?" And I was like, I giggled. But then I thought about it, and like, to me, it is pure, because that was 6 months into my celibacy journey. And naturally, as a, sensual woman, you get waves of desire,
Yeah. I'm so sorry. That took me out. But yeah, no,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, for real. Because it's not like,
I mean, yeah, we're not like, I'm a holy
and cancers,
woman.
as a Cancer, I could tell you, like, yes, we are definitely sexual beings and sensual beings.
Yeah.
But we're selective with it.
Yeah. And I wasn't always selective. Like, when I was younger, like, I did not respect myself the way I do now.
Exactly.
And that's what, like, when I have kids and all that, like, I will teach them differently. Because our parents' generation was not very open about that, you know?
Exactly.
So, yeah, but like now, very selective. I got people in my inbox that don't even open it because I'm like, I can't even, you know, like plan a date. Plan a date. So easy to.
Yeah.
But, ooh, I just got distracted.
They don't want to date you. They want to keep being in your DMs. Hey, what are you doing? Hey, how are you? Hey, how are you?
Acknowledge me.
Like, dude.
give me reassurance.
Yeah.
Validate me. Yeah.
And at some point, like, I will reply. If I'm interested, I'll reply to you 2 or 3 times. And after that, like, have a direction.
Yeah, it is like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, like if I'm interested, which I have had an issue, like I haven't really been interested in anyone lately.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, am I broken? Or
you're just turned off because you're probably healing.
Yeah,
and
definitely.
You've probably elevated above a lot of the things that you were attracted to before.
Oh, for sure.
So, yeah.
And I feel that my vibration is vibrating higher, you know? And I'm just focused. I'm focused on making money and like overcoming the circumstances that have been placed in my life that continue to hold me back. Like that's my focus. And to me, it's like if I open up my heart to a man right now, that's going to take a lot of my energy away. And
exactly.
I need this energy to work and to make money. Yeah. So whatever. But that song, the Like Water, it's like that song is pure to me because I was experiencing super intense desires to experience love with somebody. And instead of going and finding an empty connection, I put it into a song, and that song is so sexy and it's beautiful to me. And then it was gone and I was fine.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah.
That's all you needed, huh?
That's
you just
all I needed
to an outlet.
To get it out somehow. Yeah. So just think if we taught this to the younger generations.
Okay.
But yeah, if we taught like the arts and like emotional regulation and yoga, all that to the younger generations, do you know how many people wouldn't have to go through teenage pregnancy one? That would be different. Mm-hmm. But like violent outbursts and drug addictions and all that, because the main issue with addicts, or let's say like younger girls who didn't experience like much love from their fathers, so they're over promiscuous.
Yes.
Like if we experienced an outlet and were taught that at a young age, people would experience so much less trauma in their lives because they wouldn't have to go through those things.
Exactly.
They have somewhere to channel their stuff. And I strongly believe that unless you're born without a soul, which I think is true, some people are, I strongly believe that.
Oh man, continue.
we know from experience. Uh-huh. But yeah, like totally just forgot what I was. Oh, every single person is born an artist.
Yeah.
Like we all have an artist within us that is just waiting to come out and is just waiting to be awakened.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
So the face I made when you said that some people don't have a soul.
Yeah.
What I was taught growing up within my religion was that none of us have a soul.
Okay.
And it made sense until it didn't. And it didn't make sense because I started awakening. Mm-hmm. And the things that I was experiencing, according to my religion, were demonic.
Yeah.
And satanic.
Yeah. Isn't that wild?
Yeah.
Like burning of the witches.
Mm-hmm. Even yoga, I wasn't allowed to do yoga because it was considered spiritual or spiritistic, mm-hmm. which they equate to being demonic.
That's why.
Yeah. So I find that to be a little odd because if you see the way, even like as a Christian, if you see the way God dealt with people in the Bible, you would see like direct spiritual, people would channel God basically, mm-hmm. like
whatever that
means to exactly
you.
Visions, all of that, and that's something that
Bible.
I'm told is demonic though,
yeah,
because they're saying, oh, he doesn't do that anymore. So you're telling me I'm satanic because I awakened to my true power, mm-hmm. and that I understand that now, like I was never demonic. I was always holy, chosen, and channeling God. I was chosen to awaken for a reason because the rest of my family still believes that way.
Wow.
Yeah.
Isn't it interesting being like the black sheep of the family? Like,
oh yes,
I relate to that, definitely being the black sheep, but I think that I'm grateful for my mother because she was raised like that. Like private Catholic school, they'd like beat them up with rulers, you know?
Yeah.
She was raised like that and had incredibly strict parents. And she was a hella strict parent for me personally. But I respect her because she never took us to church. She baptized us herself, you know, and she prays over us. And she never forced any sort of belief on us, and she allowed us to find that ourselves. And I'm not really sure what my brother and sister, I think my sister is kind of awakened to like spirituality. My brother is more religious, and then there's me, and I'm just like energy, you know, but it's real and I've experienced it. So I do respect my mother for that. And I think that would be so confusing for a child to have everything that they feel and believe in contradict what they're being told.
Yeah.
And then shamed for it.
Yeah.
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 How long do you feel like it took you to, once you started to awaken, how long do you feel like it took you to believe it, accept it, and then release the shame?
Here's the thing. It wasn't even until, it was about 23 when I stopped. I was like 23 years old when I stopped actively being involved in the religion. And then that's kind of when I went through a dark period. I basically watched my aunt pass away from cancer, when I was closest to, and I didn't have coping skills. I'd always had like anxiety and depression. So that really triggered me and like sent me to a spiral. And I feel like I just started experiencing life for myself at that point. But it was more so like the college phase that everybody else has. And that was probably until like 24, 25.
Okay.
Like, and then 25 I had,
like
oh
that?
yes.
Yeah.
Oh yes. Then I had like a spiritual awakening at 25, like a big one. And I've had them consistently ever since. But
yeah, it's not just one awakening.
Yeah.
It's like every couple years, or it's different, but it's like a whole lifetime of awakening and becoming a truer version of you. Yeah.
Exactly. But how long did it take me to believe it? Okay, so I had to move back home for like 2 years.
When you were 23?
25 until 27. So that was actually a really hard period because right after that awakening, I was forced to go back to the place that was keeping me like stuck, I guess.
Yeah.
You know?
That to where you're like suppressed.
Yeah. And then one of my mom's rules was if I was going to live back there, I had to go to every single church event, which was twice a week, and then knocking on doors on weekends. So yeah. Yeah, and to be honest, it never sat right again the same. There were points that I liked, just because I am like a godly and spiritual person, but religion is just not it to me.
Yeah.
So that was hard. And then finally, when I was 27, moved back out. And then from there, it was just kind of consistent. And it was
consistent, like little seeds planted.
Yeah, but there was a lot of anger in it. I can tell you, because when you first start waking up and you see everything that you were lied to about, like that will make you angry.
Yeah.
And then it was the constant arguments with family about like, I guess, my stance and them thinking that God's not going to like favor me anymore, kind of a thing. But
in reality, it's favoring you more.
Exactly. So yeah, there's that. Even last week, my mom asked me when I have kids if she can take them like to the religious meetings, and I was like, I don't know about that.
Yeah.
So, and to be honest, my answer is really no. Yeah. But I'm not going to say that yet. I told her let's revisit that.
Yeah.
Let's
but
revisit
I respect that a lot because it's like, I mean, if you did, it would be kind of a disservice to your kids because you already understand how it negatively affected you.
Yeah.
You know, but I do understand with family, like telling your mother no, that could create so much friction. It's like, and then you're going to hear about it until you have the baby, you know? Yeah.
And then the thing is, like, their brains are just so, when they're little, their brains are just so formative and, like, malleable. I just don't want them to be indoctrinated
Yeah.
at like 2 years old, you know?
Yeah.
Because I was in it since birth. I was literally in the womb going there every 3 times a week. So
just like thinking of that, like how powerful you are, that has been everything you knew and conditioned in you since birth. So like how powerful are you to be able to break through that?
that's true.
Yeah. And
That's
then
true.
also respect you because you have the strength and you have the willpower and the confidence to do it and piss off your family. You
Thank
know,
you. Yes.
Not that you want to. Piss
No, it was
off your
hard because
family.
I was trained to be a people pleaser my whole life.
Oh, same. Yeah.
You are also a Cancer with a Taurus mom, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I feel like you kind of understand a little bit some of the
And there's something
dynamic.
about the Taurus mothers.
Yeah.
Bless her soul, but she was so
very strong, very strong.
Oh my Lord. But then it's like, I don't know, maybe it was good because like when I was a teenager, it made me rebel. And then I realized how strong I was.
Yeah.
I got into a ton of trouble. It was not a good experience, but it made me, like, my mom was super protective and I couldn't have friends really. Like I didn't have any friends growing up.
Aww.
It sucked. And I was also like some artistic weird girl in the suburbs and like no one really had soul out there, you know, so I was just different. So like I think that's why I was outcasted too. But like I wasn't really allowed to have friends. And then it's like if you contain a sentient being, you know, and you contain them too much, eventually like there's gonna be pressure and you pop off.
Yes.
And that's what happened. I popped off and then I went off on my own and I drove my car to California and I lived in my car, you know, and like did some crazy stuff. But I had so much fierceness to get away from my family and be on my own and be independent. And if my kids ever do that one day, I'm going to lose my shit because, you know, it's terrifying to. What I did was not safe, but it was a part of my journey. And if my mom wasn't so strict, I would have never done that.
Exactly. And that's why I was saying.
Go ahead.
Yeah, it probably wouldn't happen with your children because of the fact that, like, you went through that and you understand how to, I guess, meet them where they're at in life versus, controlling everything. So you wouldn't really have to worry about them just like, that's it, and taking off.
And rebelling. Yeah, I agree. No shade on my mom either. We all do the best that we can, and every generation is different. And yeah.
I think this generation is just we're a lot more aware of mental health and the mind-body connection. Yeah. And there's just things that they didn't know back then.
And that's why
we have better tools.
Yeah, we can't even be upset. We all go through our phase of being upset with our parents and like having resentment. And I have I've intentionally taken the time to work through that and let go of any resentment of my parents because they're people. And like I'm a people too, and I know how hard it is to be a person. So to hold things on from your childhood is such a waste of energy, unless it was like something crazy and it's understanding why you can't forgive them. But like to hold onto things from your childhood and allow it to affect your relationship, it's just a waste of energy. Let it go.
And I've just started getting to that point.
Yeah, it took me until like a year ago. Yeah, until I was 29. And now it's like I see everything that they did. I see what they did wrong. And I will move accordingly by learning from them.
Exactly.
But still respecting that they kept me alive. They kept me fed. Yeah.
And then when you think about it, our parents were still our age and younger with children. And that's something that I have to keep in my mind as well. Yeah. It's like they really were just doing the best with what they had. They were our age. Yeah. And the thing is, it really isn't fair to them to hold on to something they did 20, 25 years ago if they've changed.
Yeah. And it's like, I mean, my mom would pop off and like I would get spanked and hit when I was a kid. Yeah. I'm not going to pass that over because I know there's other ways to do it, you know, but it's like, wow, I have such bad ADD today. I keep forgetting what I'm talking about. Hey, I'm BB. I'm a singer. I do art. That literally just left my brain so quick. So
it's okay. It happens. I do that too, like literally all the time. Yeah.
So what you're saying?
I'm like, I don't remember what I was
like,
saying.
Middle
But
of a conversation, but now we're done with it.
Wherever
so,
it was going, it was
yeah,
going well. But you know what? Maybe it's just done.
Yep. We're going to just thank you, parents.
Yes, thank you.
You did a great job.
You did what you could, and we love you for it.
Yeah. We're artists.
Exactly. Yeah. Okay, so you right now are working on, did you talk about your yoga studio on area?
Yeah, a little bit. It's a little behind schedule, but I'm going to start to teach like weekly classes, doing like in-studio classes. But I created an online yoga studio. So there's over 30 videos. There's an introduction to yoga course, so you can like build a solid foundation if you don't know anything about yoga. And then it goes up based on difficulty, style of yoga. I'm doing guided meditations, which is cool because I'm a singer, so I'm able to like put that into the meditations and like mantras and stuff. So it's like a one-stop yoga shop. It's $11 a month. And then something I think that separates it from being able to go on YouTube, because you can go on YouTube for yoga.
Yeah.
I do monthly challenges. So like there's the 30 videos, and then every month there's a new challenge. And then if you complete the challenge, you get like put in a drawing to win like a sound healing session or like a fitness or yoga package, stuff like that. Awesome. Yeah. So I'm excited about it. And then as it grows, I'm going to start doing like events in the city. And I just want to share this gift that I have gotten from yoga because it really did change my life.
Yeah.
Like when I started it when I was 19, when I pursued it after being sober, it kept me sober for a long time. And now it's just keeping me sane. Like I'm a wild nut,
No, I know. Yeah. I get it.
So it's nice to I just have my peace and it feels really good. And now I can share that with people.
I love that.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So if you go on my Instagram, b.b.collective, it'll be on there when it releases.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Awesome. So tell us about your visual art. Your painting. Yeah.
Okay. I've been painting since I was a kid, but I really dove into it in COVID era. I just bought a bunch, we had those checks, so. Oh
yeah. I almost forgot about that check. It felt so far away.
It was so nice. That was so great. Hopefully we get those sometime soon again because this world is pretty crazy with the prices right now.
Tell me about it.
Yeah, that's wishful thinking though.
Yeah.
But yeah, I dove into the arts further during COVID, and it was like very spiritual art and very feminine. And I did that for a while. And then I kind of switched when I was going through a dark phase, like 2 winters ago. Mm-hmm. I totally switched how I was creating, and it was more like emotion and kind of street art. And some of it was a little jarring. And now I'm back into that more feminine style, like lighter, like beautiful to look at. You know, the art also was a form of therapy. And I'll just be sitting there and I just have the feeling. I'm like, oh, here it is, when you need to create.
Yeah.
So I just go and buy a canvas, and I never know what I'm going to make. I just know I have something in me that needs to be put on canvas. And then I start, and 75% of the painting, I just hate it. The whole time I'm like, this is horrible, and then it takes one time sitting with it for it to all come together. I think that's poetic, and it's cohesive with life, because when we're building things for our lives, like this yoga thing, it's I'm not doing it right. It's not working. You always go through that, but it just takes that one extra time to sit with it. Okay, now it clicks,
Yeah.
So that taught me to trust the process.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah. So I have artwork. I have artwork at the Eagle Knit and the 100% Gallery and on my website.
Okay.
I do murals and commissions and stuff.
Yeah. I was just going to ask you if you sell your work.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, okay. I've been lucky. I've sold 15 paintings, some tapestries and stuff, but I'm not actively trying to sell my work.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right now it's just a form of therapy, huh? Yeah. And if it gets bought, then that's just kind of an added bonus.
Yeah. Yeah. I will move into the business of art eventually. Mm-hmm. but I have to compartmentalize my life. I can't.
get that.
Yeah, you can't do it all at once.
No, you can't.
Yeah.
And I think that is something that creatives struggle with, is knowing where they want to be with each thing, but knowing that they have to take the time out for each thing separately in order to build it and for it to flourish. You can try to concentrate on multiple things, but it doesn't work that
from
well.
experience. Yeah, because I did that the last 3 years. I'm a painter, dancer, singer.
Yeah.
I'm an event coordinator, like all this stuff.
That was me last year.
Really? Yeah, that was me last year too.
Oh, really?
Events, yeah. And then it's like none of my art was flourishing or the best that it could be, and I could never express what I know I hold inside. I couldn't show that to people because it was too sporadic, you know.
Yeah.
And I do agree with that. So now it's like the yoga, and then the next will be the painting, and then I'll come back to music, you know, and then I'll do the dance now that I'm in shape because of the yoga.
Yeah.
And now that I'm doing that, things are actually starting to turn into something.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you are an artist, and you're multifaceted, try and pick one thing and hone in on that and try and master that and create something with it. And then you can move on to the next thing. Otherwise, from experience, you just feel lost. And then you get into that, like, oh, I'm not good enough. Am I a phony? Like, no, you got ADD and you got to focus on one thing and build it.
Exactly.
That's been life-changing. Yeah.
Yeah. So, what is the goal or what is your vision for your art long term?
For like my painting art?
All of it.
All of
long
it?
term, like what are your goals with it?
I want to be a business owner for multiple businesses. I want to make passive income. I want to have my yoga business, which I'm building. And then I'm going to build an art business, and I make these huge tapestries on the wall that can be put in like yoga studios or hotels. And then I'm going to make my website and do my arts and do, all of that. And then once I'm done with that, I'm going to move back to my music, finish recording all the songs that I have, and just release it. I'm not going to do the whole Instagram thing with it. I'm just going to put it out there and then leave it alone.
Okay.
And then if it comes back to me and I get invited to do a show, then I'll do that.
Okay.
But what I've learned personally, I don't want to do the rat race of the music industry. I just want to do music because I have to, because it has to come out of me. And I love to perform, so I'll just do shows. That's kind of my goal with that.
Yeah.
You really can't make much money off of music nowadays anyway.
No, you have to do it for the love.
Yeah, for the love of it, yeah. And then with dancing, I'm starting a YouTube channel, and I'm going to start to choreograph, but like with the dancing, that's something that's going to be for the community. Like dance classes free for kids, putting it in schools. The yoga I'm trying to bring to schools too. I have a public school program that I'm making. So like let's say my 5-year goal is we meet here in 5 years. Like I have my businesses booming. I'm making a lot of money.
Yeah.
And I'm investing that money into things that go back to the community.
Yes.
Mainly children and women who've experienced like domestic violence.
Mm-hmm.
I still get sad when it still brings it up. So like everything that I'm doing right now is for me.
But
and
also for the community. Yeah. In the long run for the community.
Yeah. Like right now I'm selfish.
Mm-hmm. As you should be.
Yeah.
Because you have to start out selfish.
Yeah, and I didn't. And it got me nowhere. And now I'm screwed, And then now it's like, I'm going to be selfish right now. I'm only going to focus on me and my goals and me and mine,
Yeah.
And when I'm good, then I can do good and be of service. Start foundations in the city for art or whatever needs to happen. The goal.
That is very similar to where I see myself as well.
Hell yeah.
Definitely want to give back to the community and mostly kids.
Yeah.
Kids, and I also would like to bring
what is that?
For people with like dementia and Alzheimer's, the homes that they live in.
Yeah. Musical therapy.
Like music therapy, basically.
That's why I was looking into that like 2 weeks ago.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I might have some places if you're
Heck yeah.
interested.
I would love that.
Okay, I worked in senior living for a while.
Okay.
As an activities coordinator or activities director, basically. So
okay, cool.
like all
and
of
you can do
the
that too because
recreation.
you know music too.
Actually, could yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that's wild. I love how everything becomes aligned.
Yeah,
But yeah, right now it's selfish time, and it feels good.
as it should be.
I should have done this in my 20s. I would be so much further in
Mhm.
life, you know.
Yeah,
But the experience, I'm rich in experience, so
exactly.
that's good to me.
And the thing is, everything falls into alignment when it's supposed to, like you said before. So maybe I feel like 20s for me were a learning and growing experience, and it's likely that it was like that for you.
Yeah.
And then your 30s are where you're going to
Thrive.
bloom. Yes.
And I've been blossoming.
Mm-hmm.
I feel that in like my femininity, you know, and
Yeah.
my sensuality. I can like go somewhere where I used to freak out and have social anxiety, and I can just be myself and be sweet, and I don't have to act hard anymore to like protect myself, you know. I can just be myself, and it feels really nice to be able to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And you're coming out of survival mode.
Ooh, yeah, I really am.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. When do you feel like you did that?
I feel like it's still an ongoing process.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I have triggers that throw me back into survival mode.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like these last few years, this has been the first time I lived completely alone for like the last almost 5 years.
Okay.
And
when did you do that?
COVID about after. So I told you I went back home to my parents 25 when I was 25. And then I was 27 when I left. And that was like when COVID
so the last
started.
4 years. Okay.
Yeah.
Do you feel like that has been a huge impact on
Oh, for sure. For sure. Having that space to myself to just be who I need to be for the moment, to break down if I need to like, it's just like you can be whoever you are in your own space.
Yeah.
And like, you don't have anybody around judging you for it. You can, I can sit there for hours and mull over things in my mind and basically, I can sit there and reflect and I can start seeing patterns and changing them. So like really just sitting alone, sitting with yourself will teach you more than anything.
I agree.
And at first it was so hard sitting alone with all of the destructive, depressive, anxious thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
Like I honestly, for a little bit, I was suicidal. But yeah, I'm just at peace now. I'm at peace within myself, peace within my mind. I can go do things alone and it feels good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not the best.
It is.
Yeah. And I understand about that, like the suicidal thoughts, because when we first are alone, we're stuck with our thoughts, but then it's like we feel alone, but even though we're choosing, but it's like, oh, I don't have anybody.
Yeah.
It is easy if your brain is already at a low vibration and telling you all these horrible things. A lot of times it's like, we don't want to be here anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And I've experienced that a lot throughout my life. And it's not that, I'm going to go try that, or it's not that I don't want to be alive anymore. I just don't want to be on this earth no more.
Yeah, exactly.
Because I see it. It's like every day I'll walk by someone, I can like feel the energy, or just seeing everything on the news and how we operate as people. It's like, no, I don't want to be on this planet.
It's like, this place is horrible.
This place sucks.
Like, and as a whole, how did we let it get here?
It's been like that since the beginning of time.
It has. Yeah. It has.
So I feel like
cycles.
Yeah, and I really feel like maybe when human beings were first brought here, however they were, if they evolved, if an alien fucked a chimpanzee, like who knows?
Yeah.
However we came here, I do think that it always was traumatic, from being cavemen to killing each other to like medieval times killing each other. It was always about greed, money, and power. Land. And that's why I do think that the Bible has realistic things to it, because of the lust, the greed. Those are part of the human experience. But I think that the earth was vibrating in a lower vibration, in a lower dimension, and humanity is becoming awakened as we're evolving. So now we're spiritual beings, and now it's like it's going to slowly start to get better.
And so you believe that we are entering the new earth and like the new dimension?
Hell yeah.
I 100% agree.
Yeah.
I feel like there's been mass awakenings over the past few years.
Yeah, within yourself and the world.
Yeah.
Seeing, oh, this is bad, we shouldn't do this. And that's why I think that in the Bible, the apocalypse, like with everything going on right now, with like the floods and like all the stuff in the world, like I do think that we're entering an apocalypse, but it's not the end of the world. It's not what they think it is. Yeah. It's the start of the new world.
Exactly.
And things might get shaken up. We might have, I don't know, another virus or shutdown. Who knows what will happen this year? Things will get shaken up, but it has to happen to enter to this new world, and things are going to be completely different. Yeah.
It's interesting because I actually was taught something like that growing up. So I do see truths in it.
Can you explain that?
So Revelation talks about Armageddon, right? And the destruction and all the signs that we're seeing right now, like you were just talking about. And then it also talks about a new world and a new earth. But the thing is, in my religion, in my family's religion, it's like everything is going to blow up, basically. Like this earth will physically be destroyed and then physically rebuilt. And only the people who basically were good people and listened to God in the old world will be in the new earth. However, they believe that you will be a physical form of yourself, a perfect physical form of yourself, since they don't believe that you have a soul. And you will be basically young and living in this perfect earth forever. So there's some things that like, I see where some of it comes from, but I also see where doctrine got involved as well.
Yeah, the whole like, because I think that living eternally is demonic. Like, you know,
like you're stuck in a system,
and then you can't evolve.
And what's crazy is they literally call it the new system of, like, the new world is the new system. This is the same old system of things. And the more I think about that starts reminding me of the Matrix and computers, and like, are you stuck in that system because that's where you believed you were going, and now that's where all of the people that thought they were going are going to be? I know. I have a lot of crazy.
Oh, no, I love that though.
Yeah, because it's like maybe we do end up in different places depending on the vibration and depending on the thoughts that you had.
Oh, hell
so
yeah.
It's just
have you heard of like Abraham Hicks? Have you
I've heard, yes, but sorry.
No, that's fine. But like, if you think like this already, like listen to her podcast. Like she has helped me get out of depression so many times, because it really is like, you don't get what you deserve. If I got what I deserve, I would be totally fine right now at this point. You know, you don't get what you deserve. You get what you are, and you are what you think and what you believe. You get what you believe. So if I continue to believe that I shouldn't be here on this earth and nobody loves me and I'm a loner, like, then the universe is going to make me, it's going to okay, you think that, here, we're going to solidify that for you. But I have been changing my thoughts, and I'm like, I'm open to love, like I'm a good human being to connect with, blah blah blah, and now I have all these amazing people in my circle. So I do think that, like, if, let's say, I don't want it to be like this, but let's say like the end of the world happens and everything, all hell breaks loose, you know, like it could be that you can either go with that or you can evolve to another dimension based off of what you believe.
Exactly.
That's wild. That's a movie.
It is.
Yeah, we should make
it. I was going to say we should start writing. I have so many stories that I feel like eventually I would love to tell and like make some money off of if possible.
Yeah.
There's so
movies?
much. Oh yeah. Movies, screen, like, any type of screenwriting.
Do you know there's a videographer in Milwaukee named Loki? Do you know him?
What's his last name?
I don't know his last name. Goes by Loki, but he does like a bunch of like short videos and stuff like that. And he does like these 48-hour films where everyone makes a movie in 48 hours.
Oh, that's cool.
I'll connect you with him.
I would love that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, you guys will hit it off well.
Sounds good.
And he's also very open to that.
Okay. You're going to help me write our first screenplay.
Directed by Kendel B and BB.
Yes.
That'd be fun.
We can even say KB and BB.
KB and BB. That'd be fun.
It would be. Okay, so I want to finish talking more about you still. So we can start wrapping up soon, but I feel like we should end on the note of highlighting you again.
Okay.
So I just want to ask if there's anything that you would like to share with the creative community, or if there's anything you think we're doing well, or there's things that we could improve in.
Mm-hmm. I think that what I've been seeing, the creative community in Milwaukee is we do so well at supporting each other. We do so well at being collaborative with each other, and it's not about like making money off of each other and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
That's something I've realized in the last 2 years, and I respect that so much because that's truly how we're going to be able to make it as artists is by working together and understanding that you can invest time in something and work with someone who has potential, and eventually that will come back to you times 10.
Exactly.
So good job with that to our creative community. Something that we can do better. I don't really know if this is directed at the creative community, but something that we need to do better at is not be so quick to put up a wall with people. There's been so much divide happening these last few years, and I just noticed like I'll be out in public and just like judgy and so quick to look at someone, assess them like, oh, I don't fuck with you because of this or that. I think that we need to come together as people, regardless of where the fuck you came from or how you think or this or that. We really need to just come together and like actually get to know each other, actually time to get to know each other instead of putting in a box, because you're missing out on opportunities doing that. There's so many more opportunities out there that if we just like opened up to each other, I think that's huge. Men and women, we gotta stop fucking fighting.
Oh my gosh. Tell me about it.
I know. Do you know how different the world would be if men and women worked together and we stopped pinning things on each other and blaming each other for things, and we actually just came together and do what we're supposed to do and balance each other out? Like, that's a huge thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like it's purposely made harder, though. I think there's definitely an agenda against us to keep us separated in any way, whether that be man and woman, whether that be race, nationality, religion,
sexual identity.
Exactly.
If you're a vegan or you eat meat.
Exactly.
Like if you use a washcloth or a loofah, it's shit.
That's so real, though.
Yeah. By the way, white people do use washcloths. I am your local white girl, and I'm telling you right now, we use washcloths, okay?
There you have it.
Or a loofah. That's been going around for so long. I'm like, seriously? No, I'm going to stop that right now. But yeah, it really is. And I do think that this has been intentional since before we could even imagine, since humans could create diabolical plans. Like all of the divide that is happening has been intentional, and it's because they know that we are weaker when we are not united.
Exactly.
Whether it is man and woman, race, gender, whatever it is.
Political affiliation.
And like, dude, stop fighting over politics, because that shit is literally put there to make you guys fight.
Like and the thing is, it's all the same. Like it's the same system.
Yeah.
And you're fighting over candidates when it's like literally just the same system in place.
It is. And they're not going to save you.
No, and I feel like by now we should have realized that politics, at least in the U.S., don't do anything to help us as a whole.
No, they don't.
So why are we still...
Family members not talking to family?
Yeah.
People divorcing their husbands and wives because you voted different? Like, dude, in 4 years, it's all gonna be shit anyways. Like, the only real change happens like this, with each other, within ourselves, and doing good things in your community. Yeah.
Exactly.
It's wild.
All right. Well,
you guys tell them where my music is?
Yes, please.
Yeah. So I have some music out all major platforms. It's b.b music.co. You can look that up. And then I also have a YouTube channel. I'll be posting more on there eventually. And then for my Instagram, it's b.b collective with an underscore after it. And that's just all my stuff on there. I put all my artistic things in there. So yeah.
All right. So make sure you check her out, BB. Yoga, music, painting,
some comedy.
And all around just a dope person.
Thanks
You're welcome.
Yeah, thanks for
I like
having me
you.
on here.
You're welcome.
You too. We're cancers.
We are. All right, everyone, and thank you all for listening. And that's that for this episode of KB's Community. See you next time.